since my stroke has been photography, and I take photography and I like it. The reason I like it is it's me.
Hello and welcome to Topic Talk. I'm Jess, your host. This Topic Talk is about safe spaces, and I'm with incredible Marcus, the visually creative, nature-loving father, husband, and lecturer, an Australian-born stroke survivor living in Kochi, Japan. And Marcus, in 2 to 3 minutes max, can you please tell us, how do you create a safe space for yourself?
Where do I feel safe? Well, probably obvious for some people from Geniuses that I take photography, and to add on to that, I would say that is swimming. I go swim in the pool probably 4-5 times a week, and that is just to be able to get my brain set and just think about breathing. It's breathing. Then the next part would be riding my bike in the mountains and just be myself. But probably the last few years since my stroke has been photography, and I take photography and I like it. The reason I like it is it's me by myself, and then I can connect with nature somewhere and just sit there and take photographs. There was a chat in a coffee shop when someone, sorry, I forgot the names, but when they're asking about I asked me the question about your photography. Have they improved since compared to your stroke? And I said, oh, well, and then when I started thinking of it, I said, no, that's actually, it has changed, because I don't feel scared or embarrassed taking photographs. I just take the photographs. I don't care anybody around me, what I'm doing, how I take it. I just do it. I don't so much of people. I really like to be in the mountains. It makes it real safe there. And probably the biggest important part for me is that I have the place where I can just shut down my brain. I don't have to think about reading, writing, speaking, anything. All I do, it's me.
What I found really curious about this in some of our other conversations was that you spoke about how different places had different energy and how you would connect with those. Can you expand on that a bit?
It's like Shinto, Japanese type of Shinto. Shinto is it's very similar to like the Australian original Aboriginal people. Everywhere they have rocks and rivers and spatial places. Well, that's exactly the same in Japan. So they're all their famous mountains and rivers and waterfalls. Everywhere you go, there's a shrine, millions of shrines. So even though I end up being around a lot of temples, shrines, taking photographs, I just find myself in these areas where quite beautiful and just very calming places. And for me, that's the best feeling that I have, and to get away from work. It's someone had said before in a coffee shop, said, but don't you feel like this is sort of sad? You're not with all your family. And I have to say that I love my family. I love everything. It's great. But I have to get away to what I'm doing to calm down. And I take a lot of
either or.
Yeah. But basically, if you look at people who take, and I'm not famous or anything like that, but if you take anyone who takes good photography, who's a photographer, they're by themselves. You don't go with your friends. Oh, you have a chat. You have to go there by yourself and just think what you're doing. So you're in a zone. You get into a zone, and that zone for me a lot of the time is for like a few days ago was about surfing. Before that, I was up in the mountains and trying photographs of the Milky Way. And for me, that is just incredible to be. I'm up in the top of this mountain. I'm by myself. It's an hour and a half walk back to the car. It's dark as anything. And I'm just sitting there with the stars, and I think, this is just the best thing in the world, because it's a new world. It's a complete world that I have with work. It's a bit scary. That's not scary. It's scary for everybody else in my family saying, where are you?
Yes.
And I sort of say, well, it's pretty difficult to explain where I am, but these things, places, yeah, it helps me a lot to get away. And I think of nature is important for everybody. I hope that everybody finds that time to sit back next to a river, or go for up a hill, or take a walk. Forests, good forests, or or creek, or things like that. There's a feeling there. I feel that all the time when I go into the taking photography. I'm looking forward to that.
It's your safe space. It's beautiful. Thank you. Thank you for sharing that with us. Now, Marcus and I would love to hear from you. How do you create a safe space?